Hello, friends. It's me. Who else would it be? But it's time for a story. I know. Surprising. It's time for a finale, actually. The final story. Insert some final countdown joke here. But either way, this is from Reddit user JC Me Rollin. I still love your name. This is Fishbeard, the finale. I had to get all, epic with that for some reason. I don't know why. But let's read this story. Just a minor refresher on the cast, because it's been a little bit since we read this. Fishbeard. Racially mixed teenager, tad taller than me, has ichthyosis vulgaris, which is the medical name for fish scale disease. But that's not where the name comes from. Derives from his constant smell of onions, chicken broth powder found in the 20-cent ramen, and of course the fish market in the middle of a southern July at 4 p.m. Ew. After all the good fish are taken. So now all that's left are the rotting ones. But to his credit, it didn't radiate the normal way. It was like an onion came in layers as you got closer, How ironic one of the smells is fish. Almost like he was on all levels but physical. A fish.
On all levels except physical, I am a wolf.
I also forgot to mention, he doesn't bathe, just stands under the water, wears fedoras, bowling shirts, fingerless gloves, and patchy acne-ridden tuft of hairs on his neck. Henceforth to be known as Fishbeard, or FB for short. OP, a trans woman, 25, living in the Midwest, currently grew up in the South, likes anime, video games, and streams on Twitch when work doesn't consume the week. Around 5'10", gray eyes, and mid to upper back length natural dirty strawberry blonde hair, which is almost always black and some other color at the tips. Neat. Built like neckbeard bait, always have been. Small waist making an hourglass figure. Big cup size, 4 size, thanks genetics, eye roll. I said I wanted boobs, not more back problems from double D's, bordering on triples. Ow. As someone who has a lot of back issues, ow. And who could forget, I am of the goth culture, so all around big titty goth GF people simp over. Cool. Edit, I'm not in the Midwest anymore, moved back to Texas the time of the starting to write this as to now. Oh god, why would you do that? Slender woman, girlfriend of the OP at the time, 100 pounds soaking wet, and still harbors unwarranted hate towards OP for unknown reasons to this day. Jim, OP's girlfriend from the Down Underlands, alternative 18 attractive gamer I had the hots for. The character's all set and ready for the tiring play. Let us begin. Please keep all appendages and or organs in the ride at all times. Our black market guy is not feeling it today. So, where I last left off, I was taking a break from Fishbeard and his creepiness for a bit. Well, things did start working out in my favor. Jim and I were talking about me moving out to Australia, but alas, came hard times that delayed the dream by several months. So Jim decided that she would surprise me by moving to America for a bit. Getting ahead of myself. That's more towards the end of the year 2015. Now off to the end of 2014, and the beginning of 2015. After some time away from Fishbeard, I believe that he's gotten the message that his behavior would result in another loss of a close friend. But also, my problem was I didn't want to lose, at that point, my only friend. So, as a very misplaced olive branch to Fishbeard, I told him if he wanted to go Black Friday shopping with me, he could, as I was semi-lonely, and knew that most of his friends were just online, or, in high school, because they're graduating that school year. We met at the GameStop. I got that cool Xbox One bundle of Advanced Warfare. It was kind of expensive, even with the Black Friday deal, but I had the money, and Fishbeard got something that I can't fully remember, but it was probably overly expensive mouse or Steam card or something odd, since I knew that he didn't get a new job. But hey, not my problem if he's a piece of shit and enabled by his grandmother. Next we move on to Hot Topic for me to get new body jewelry and pieces of clothing to expand my options to be more comfortable for me. And with the idea of cute goth girls possibly being there and just making him salivate, I tried to keep my distance but stay within earshot of him, just far enough away that if he was to pocket something, I could just bolt and act like I didn't know him and not get roped into it. Sir, please step back. You're making me uncomfortable. Oh, fuck. As I turned to see this dumbass standing practically almost nut to butt with this girl and staring at me with a smile and glee in his eyes. Come on, we're leaving. But I haven't now, or you're gonna get your ass kicked by me and her. As he slipped by her and managed to lean in, sniffing her hair as he passed. Ew. Once we got out of the store and out of sight of the store, I looked at him with a sweet smile that only a person faking it for years can do. Why are you... With every bit of force I could muster, not to make him get a breath back for a minute, I hit him. If I ever, and I mean ever, see you do that to Jim or anyone else, I'm gonna make you wonder why hospitals handle you so rough and the beds are uncomfortable. And not make you just lose your breath. Gasping and grabbing at the air at me and the railing. Oh, kick your ass. No, you won't. You couldn't even get upstairs without breathing heavily. Pick up your bags and let's go before I decide to make you try to explain to your grandmother why you're groaning and have to tell me the truth while I know you lie. I started walking away. I could hear him mutter something about how so hot or something. As we get to the car, I looked at him coldly and said, back, seat, lay down, mumbling something about him having car sickness. I know he didn't have, and he got in the back seat. As we rolled up to his house, Jim called me to talk for a bit. Mom dead hit me and such conversation followed. What? You're lucky all I did was one punch and then brought you home. It's still not cool. Neither is sniffing a random girl's hair and practically grinding on her. Honey, I'm not done with him, Jim. So, you really do have to be stupid not to realize that you were less than an inch from a clean-cut sexual assault case. Well, you didn't complain when I convinced Red to do it because I didn't like it. What? Oh, no. Or when I grabbed your ass the first time. Oh. This guy is, like, super fucking gross. Fishbeard, you better hope Jim calms me down before I get you home if you value your knees and elbows. Whatever, you won't do anything. I rip out of the driver's seat, and he scrambles out of the door and runs for his fortunately locked door. OP, I can't marry or much less move in with a felon. Fine, he's not worth it. And that was the last I saw of Fishbeard for a while. Now here's where we have to sidetrack for a little bit to understand why, later on, I ever saw him again. This was only towards the beginning of dating Jim, and this is when I discovered Jim was, in fact, working at the Amazon. Worked on the night shift for a good bit before we were dating, and had been for a while, with her excuse for lying about still being in Australia to me and Tony was stuff. She'd have to explain in person or to show me. Okay. So we met, and me half expecting it to be something rather idiotic, it indeed was in no way something that I thought it was. She was 17 at that moment, days away from adulthood, not already 18, had pictures of her parents' abuse towards her, and forged papers for the employment visa, and completely alone in an apartment almost 50 miles away from where I lived. Wow. She was worried that if I knew those problems and such, I'd report her, and she wouldn't get the true independent life she wanted from her parents. I explained to her that I'm not angry about her being an illegal alien. I'm not mad about her forging papers with different names, and suggested I work at the same place as her. What I'm mad about is her thinking I'd care about it, and I'm not allowed to have her working there as lower management, not because she's illegal, because they look solid enough, but because the ID was clearly fake and she should leave before they look deeper. But in a few days, she could use the real ID that she had, and I'd find her something near her apartment. Is this something you should be admitting on the internet? We held hands and walked into the sunset. Just kidding, I drove her to her apartment and we got a noise complaint from multiple neighbors thinking she was being murdered. Oh, you have a dirty mind, but you're semi-correct. Half the screaming was video games, the other half was being very vocal and not knowing that she was until the moment. Good to know, I guess. Anyway, Jim and I moved in together in the larger town that my hometown bordered. 4 months later, life is good. Get Jim a job at the new Amazon 5 miles down the road after her sudden disappearance, and kept quiet about our relationship when I was sent my referral. As our actual 6-month anniversary, I bought us tickets to Viva Las Vegas. We had fun of multiple types, and with it being Sin City, we drank and smoked for some reason. A mutual thought popped up, with Elvis at the front of a church and screaming about something, something, legal, something, married, something, something, federally recognized, we decided it was time right here and now. While my parents and family were upset that I essentially eloped on a whim, her parents were beyond furious. We had met and spoken often after I somehow convinced them to get therapy and mend it all. They were essentially the first to know, because they were still awake, that the Facebook official married status had been changed. Oof, Facebook. However, it's not that we eloped, but that it was a Catholic wedding. So 2 weeks after the honeymoon, Jim peeks her head in the kitchen saying, we're going to Australia. We're not given a choice. We don't have the money. It's already been paid for by them. Okay, so how long? Like a week or something? No. 2? I'd say pack the apartment and maybe turn in your 2 weeks. I did mine before coming home. So we're going and not visiting. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is something we've got to do if I want to do anything in life. What are you talking about? If I want any sort of inheritance, this is something we have to do. Okay, I'll play along. So, off we packed and went, but Jim wasn't exactly good at explaining how much money her family had. But it was very apparent when we landed and started heading in an Uber to her parents' house, and the houses kept getting nicer and nicer. She downplayed it to the degree I thought upper middle class, not upper class. And the car stopped, shaking me out of wonder. There, walking to the car, were her parents, both of them happy that we had made it safe. Well, how was the flight, son? You sleep well? They didn't mess with you too much, right? I think I'm handling one problem at a time, and the flight, packing up my life and coming here isn't on that list, so yeah, I think I'm okay. Now, if I hadn't been thrown off by being called son, I probably wouldn't have gotten all flustered, and probably would have answered normally. New father-in-law stuff, I guess. What's the current one? Motioning towards the Porsche 911 in the driveway. Jim played this down massively. Let's see. A mother-in-law replies, well, I'm sure she's got a good reason. Her brother did bring home and married a gold digger once. Messy divorce. I'm not mad or something, just surprised. Blah blah, tour of the house. Staying there until a house we like popped up, seeing tourist stuff. Gave parents the Catholic ceremony. Skipping all the adult things of marriage and such, let's just fast forward through the unimportant things, so this section can be faster and not a drag. Jim and I opened a tattoo shop by our house. Neat. I got nice cars because her dad owned multiple motorsport dealerships. Fancy. I learned to surf. Occasionally I had to keep up public appearances because her brother said that he didn't want to sell cars, he wanted to do something with animals. She cheated on me with her massage therapist. I divorced her and told her family and got alimony. Not much, it's like $2,000 a month. It's now mid to late 2016. I'm back in my hometown. I'm depressed, an alcoholic, felt unlovable, started my transition in 2015, so at this time, looks approximately how I do now. Ow. That's a lot of not good right at the end. Jeez, dude. As a weird, desperate attempt to feel desirable, I took an exotic dancing class and ended up being a dancer and DJing at the same place. I felt really lonely now. I needed friends, and I mistakenly had forgotten and forgiven Fishbeard because it had been years and he seemed different now. So we started hanging out again. Maybe it was because of the creeps at work, or maybe my loneliness, or maybe a mixture of both. He stopped whipping his jerking gherkin out. That's certainly one way of putting it. Interesting. But would always find a hand touching my waist. I didn't mind this as he started bathing more. The smell was less strong, but still there. Occasionally, he'd put on cologne. I was also really in need of someone to cry in the lap of in between drunken words and rants. It seemed that he had changed, but oh, how wrong I was. One day he tried to kiss me with an immediate slap in the face from me, and he clambered from my head on his lap to the floor, him shooting up. The fuck was that for? Dude, you tried to kiss me. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Oh, right, you're a stripper slut now. I gotta pay to have you look in my direction. Get out. Now. I said this with tears in my eyes. He knew this was a low blow, and uncalled for, as I felt it was a mistake for me to even start, but it was good money, but I hated myself for it. Jesus, dude, I'm sorry. He was shocked that it slipped out of his mouth and rushed out the door with his keys and a lanyard flying behind him in a shaky, I'm sorry. I forgave him and let him hang out with me again, and he was acting odd, but not like creepy. While we were playing Halo, he suddenly asked, do you think I'm dateable? Shaken, off kilter, I replied, I'm sure you are, but you gotta work on some things. Like what? Like taking care of yourself, getting a job and such? I'm sure with the confidence you have, it could help. He nods and then yawns. Oh, is it cool if I crush her tonight? Sure, but I'm gonna have to go wash a comforter for me then. Go in my room and also grab a pillow or two from the bed. I have 8, so I won't miss any. Oh, that's cool. So off I go to wash a comforter. Stick it in the washer. I knew it would be a bit till it would be dry and ready to put on the bed, so I go shower and relax a little in an oversized hoodie and pajama shorts. As I turned on the water, I realized I forgot a towel, so I walked from the washroom again in my underwear and grabbed one. And passing by Fishbeard, I said jokingly, why not start taking care of yourself now? Maybe go, I don't know, actually do something like this? I mind washing yourself, and he rolled his eyes with a ha-ha. But his eyes finished rolling, and me walking away, I caught out of the corner of my eye him staring at me like a bag of Doritos. What a fascinating euphemism. When I get back to the bathroom, I lock the door, as I always did. So I get in the shower, taking care of business, having some shower thoughts. Do vampires drink blood in order to get vitamin D because their vampirism doesn't allow them to go in the sun, which would produce vitamin D? That's an interesting thought. Why did I go from 6'1" to 5'9.5", 5'10" on HRT? Was the Raven a weird on his deathbed metaphor? Why am I hearing rapping, tapping on my bathroom chamber door? Oh, that's real knocking. Yeah, Fishbeard, what do you need? Oh, fuck, that's right. He probably can't hear me over the water. So I shouted it. I shut off the water and leaned towards the door and unlock it. Whoosh with me jerking it back, and behind the curtain, the door swings into the shower, and in jumps my English bulldog, Snuggles. Aw, he passed away. I'm sorry. Just sitting there in the bliss of standing in the shower, grinning ear to ear. Of course, the main reason I locked the bathroom door, she does this. And because the door thing that goes into the wall is backwards, so technically a light push can open the door otherwise. It's the same in every door of the apartment. That's odd. Fishbeard, I need you to grab a towel. Snuggles is all wet. Some groans and grunts later. Sure, whatever, I'll get it. He just fulls on walks into the bathroom and starts reaching for the curtain from what I can tell through the semi-see-through curtain and liner. Just drape it on the curtain rod. You don't even hand it directly to me. Okay, but I gotta shit. I'll be out, the toilet lid opens, and I hear his pants hit the floor. Oh my god, ew. Bruh. That is disgusting. Okay, whatever. No, not whatever. Not fucking whatever. I moved the draped towel away from where I knew the water would be and turned the shower back on. I sit down in front of Snuggles and can smell her from here. Okay, she needs a bath. I reach over and grab the dog shampoo already in there because she's old and smelly. She needs to be bathed once a week now. As I'm doing my thing, washing my hair, then her hair, my feet, her feet, so on and so forth, I see a flash almost unnoticeable, but Snuggles doesn't seem to react to it. So whatever, probably just need more iron in my diet. Another flash, and then a flush. What the fuck? Just taking his shit anyway was weird and uncomfortable, but is he taking pictures of his product in bowl too? What type of crack is this dude on? Because who the fuck does that? Whatever, he wasn't necessarily being creepy, just weird. Yeah, that's pretty fucking weird. As I finish up and dry myself and the dog off, I got dressed and swaddled her in a towel. I noticed my underwear and bra was on the sink with a wet spot from what, at the time, I assumed was water dripping. Oh no, I think I know what that means. And I'm not liking it. Not liking it. So I gather him up, head to the room. There's Fishbeard right rummaging through my underwear drawer. You want to explain yourself? I'm looking for batteries. The Roku remote died. Why would I keep batteries in my underwear drawer? I don't know, girls do weird shit like insert incel rant here. Okay, well how about you get out of my room so I can remake the bed with the drying comforter that's about to go off and, I don't know, wait a second in the living room for me to find some batteries, you fucking weirdo? Off he waddled with his stench following behind him onto the couch, pouting that I dare call him a weirdo for looking for batteries in my dresser like it's some RPG or something. As it became night, we ordered food, played Magic, well, something called Love Chunbyo and Other Delusions. What? I liked it, so Fishbeard was getting annoyed that I was paying attention to the TV more than the card game he would cheat in it to win for the crumb of serotonin he got from it. Oh, classy. He started drifting off, so I decided to just go to bed and watch something on my phone until I fell asleep. I woke up to Fishbeard just staring at me, all 6'2" of him just towering over me. It wasn't something I wanted to wake up to. What the fuck? Why are you staring at me like that, you fucking weirdo?
I heard you talking in your sleep. It sounded like it was a night terror, so I was coming to help.
That's still fucking weird. Now, Estradol can give you some weird, vivid dreams sometimes, so you can talk or make sounds in your sleep. It can concern people, but I was stupid to believe him on that. Find out why in the next installment of Why Must I Torture Myself by Going Down Memory Lane. I'd prefer a brick hit me in the head and I forget everything, or Fishbeard if you're so inclined. Bonus, my property manager and I once had this interaction. Tell your boyfriend to stop drawing dicks in the I heart Japanese adult art on dirty cars in the parking lot. It might be funny once or twice, but this is a problem. What? I think you're mistaken. I don't have a boyfriend or anyone. I'm single. It was Fishbeard. I met him and talked to him. I know he's the one who comes over a bunch. Yeah, not my boyfriend, just a friend. Regardless, he needs to stop doing it. And he needs to leave the neighbors' windows alone. He's specifically getting complaints from people think he's looking in windows, and I'm trying to avoid contacting the cops here. Okay, I'll pass along the message. This dude's a real fucking weirdo, man. Act 2. We're off to see the Fishbeard, the terrible Fishbeard of Oz. I'm not apologizing for trying to be more jokey on this one, because it's a hard read, even harder to tell, so this is a self-defense mechanism. A warning, we have essay, drugs, alivant attempts, and attempted getting outlined in... oh, jeez. Yeah, be careful, guys. I don't think this is going to end well. So where were we? Oh, yes, the Fishbeard. Fishbeard was staring into my soul as I slept. Gross. I woke up, told him to get bent for being a weirdo, and he didn't appreciate the truth. So, as per usual, he went back to the couch and sulked that the cute, nerdy goth girl called him a weirdo. After making breakfast a couple hours later, he left to do what he said was work, but I severely doubt, as now, who would hire a guy that smells like he's trying to constantly and horribly cosplay a fat, dumb, and acne-ridden Aquaman? Not the new hot guy playing him, but that weirdo from the Super Friends in the 1970s or something. But regardless, he was gone. A day and a half later, I was alone and needed something to not think. So I took some LSD, oh boy, followed it with plenty of alcohol, there's a bad idea, and turned on the Wizard of Oz. See, it comes full circle with the whole Wizard of Oz jokes. I get it. I ended up passing out for maybe too long, technically, because one of the other dancers I worked with was banging on my door because I hadn't answered my phone in a couple of days with Fishbeard right behind her. I mean, I, at this point, had come down in my sleep a long time before, I guess, because nothing was really distorted. Are you alright? We haven't heard from you, like, in a day.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I was asleep. I just took acid and woke up, so I guess I passed out. It's whatever.
Are you sure it's not another one of those, woe is me, my wife cheated on me and I can't trust anyone at the moment? Let me just leave Earth things?
Classy, douche. Classy. What the hell did he just say? Dude, what is wrong with him? That's Fishbeard. He's not all that bad. He's just self-absorbed asshole sometimes.
Yeah, I let things slip as shit. I'm sorry.
Is that what it is? As I let them in, because it's hardcore raining outside, so I wasn't going to stand on a porch, and I noticed that Fishbeard was looking at her. This wasn't out of the ordinary, as she had a huge, almost full back tattoo and the partial sleeves like me. So where he was looking was probably at those, as hers were unique, but her body, her canvas, they look cool regardless. Either way, this dumbass had to break the maybe 3 minutes of silence.
Oh, but who is this lovely specimen of the human race? You know mine, and I must know yours.
What is she? Let's see. Oh, she's leaving. She has to go work in 30 minutes. Oh, shit, is it that late? Bye, honey. Have fun with him. Yeah, I'll try. She flew out the door, guaranteed because the walking fish market right next to me, and at this point, I just had it, unannounced, unbathed, and unapologetic. So, I, with my smaller frame than him, just started pushing him to the bathroom. I know you're going to stay the night because it's fucking 6 p.m. and it's whatever, I don't care, but you are actually going to fucking bathe. You smell revolting.
But I took a shower last night.
Give me your phone. What? Give me your phone. Nervously, he hands me his phone. I fly my fingers to YouTube and look up how to shower with Ichthyosis vulgaris, tapped a video, and slammed it into his hands. If you want someone like my coworker, you're going to have to learn. You're not unattractive, you're unsanitary. And for once, in my time of knowing you, I'd like you to actually be something other than this right now. With one final push, he was in the bathroom, and I said, "It's sad that I have to treat you like a child, but if the shoe fits."
I'm sorry, Bobby.
I hate that you made me do that. No, and I slammed the door like maybe an inch or so from his face. I don't know, I wasn't there. If the door hit him, so be it. I walked to the washroom, grab a towel and some tongs from a kitchen. I waited until the "what I'm supposed to wash with everything in here is women's" comment through the door, because I know he was actually going to do it. I went to my closet and dug through a box to find my old toiletries, cracked the door open one by one. Soon the water came running. I waited a minute outside of the door, did that calling everyone had with tongs, be crab, click them, of course. As I silently opened the door, set down the towel, tonged up his shorts and underwear and graphic tee. I took them to the washer, dumped everything I can think of in the water to completely eliminate stained smells and whatever else is in there. I go over to the couch and just turn something on YouTube to wait, as I didn't need to watch Snuggles as she was passed out on the futon beside the couch. I realize it sounds like I'm in a ballin' in furniture and life for young adult, but no, it's the same apartment that Jim and I had. We were co-leasing to a friend of hers while we were gone for a bit. It was meant to go to my cousin when he cleaned up. That still hasn't happened as of me writing this in 2022. Ouch. While distracted in my videos, I got ripped out to Fishbeard coming out with just a towel on. I had no complaints, and the time I was gone, he did do one thing. He worked out and started eating better, so he lost weight. He wasn't cut in multiple ways, not shaming him for that though. But he was thinner, still overweight, just barely outside healthy.
I'm guessing you're washing my clothes.
Yeah, they stink, just like you. One problem at a time.
Well, it's cold in here. It's not the most flattering for my parts. You have any clothes I can wear?
No, my clothes won't fit you and you'll be fine. It's not like something to look at anyway.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, here's a blanket if you're cold. He took the blanket and made a burrito on the futon, making Snuggles come over to my chest and lay down on me. After he got his clothes back on, he was happy and warm because I turned the thermostat up. I made him actual chicken and sausage gumbo. We watched more anime. I taught him how to braid hair, cute shit. Then the power went out suddenly, and I jumped back into him. I just let him hold on to me. It was nice to actually have someone do that. If he'd been hygienic, and like how he's being right now, from the beginning, I would have dated him. And, like, he read my mind, he asked,
"You should let me suck your dick."
Oh god, here we go. Jeez, way to ruin the mood, bottom bitch boy.
Let me suck your dick.
No, we're friends. I'd really have to see something for that.
Come on, I'm single and you're single. It could be some fun between friends.
No, what I am is uncomfortable and tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I go to my room, motioning for Snuggles to come, but she's found her comfortable spot, so I left her alone. I went to my room, set my phone down near the dresser across from the bed, stripped down, crawled into bed after locking the bedroom door. I get woken up by hearing the doorknob jiggle. What do you want, Fishbeard?
I need another blanket. I spilled gumbo on this one because it's Snuggles.
Fine, let me grab one from the closet. Okay, here. This one's fluffy, so it's cozier to sleep with.
Sure to want me to sleep in here or let me sleep in there?
Maybe one day if I feel the same, but I don't think that will be. But that's okay. I'm sure you'll be able to find someone soon. I have a half heartfelt, half sleepy smile. Okay. Then he unfolded the blanket and started walking away. I go back to the bathroom because I just woke up to realize that I should probably use it before going back to sleep. And while sitting on the toilet, I realized I'm hungry. So I leave the bathroom, head for the kitchen. Fishbeard is standing there with a drink and asked if I want one because he poured two. Fuck it. What's a whiskey sour gonna hurt if I'm gonna have a snack and go back to sleep? I sit back on the couch and watch whatever he had on, sipping at my whiskey sour in a container of cheese cubes and grapes. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground outside my bedroom. Fishbeard's gone and Snuggles is limping around. What the fuck? My whole body hurt and I knew what happened as my mind came out of the haze. I was bleeding from the nose and from the other place. In shock, I just curled up in a ball and started heavily sobbing on the ground, just not moving. Just for what felt like hours, going in and out of consciousness and sobbing. Holy shit, dude. I fucking knew this guy was awful. Oh my god. After almost 3 weeks of me getting close to just ending it multiple times and no one hearing from me, my coworkers ended up calling Jim. I answered, and I just unloaded about what happened. Her saying that she was going to fly back and kill him. My only reply is, don't worry about it, I'll handle it. With her begging me not to over the phone. I walked to my nightstand and... oh, okay. We can't describe that on YouTube, but let's just say there's a weapon involved. I walked up to the door. At this point, his grandmother didn't know who I was, so I used this as my advantage and told her to tell him to come to the garage so I had something for him. He opened the garage door, and the moment I could slide under, I did, with him getting out a, oh, fuck, and then ran through the yard to the back door. I just tackled and loaded on him, crying, doing blow after blow to his face, and didn't stop. His grandmother saw how I was acting. She knew from working with Corch what had happened and called the cops on her grandson, but I wasn't aware of this. I just kept going until he wasn't moving. I got up and staggered to... dude, this is fucked. I can't fucking read this, but let's just say it's like really, really bad. The cops got involved and they had to stop something really bad from happening. I'm fine now. I've taken therapy and all of that. By this point in August of 2022, the police took my statement, pictures of me, and my house, and soon after I gathered myself up and the call of his grandmother saying what she did as evidence for the court. But Fishbeard didn't want to go alone and tried throwing out anyone to blame but himself for the idea mid-case. He got 20 years, and as of me writing this, he got out on parole in April 2022. I moved to the Midwest for a while to get away from the memories, and have since moved back to Texas, the town over from my hometown. Jim and I very rarely talk. We have no need to. Red went to prison for child neglect, no surprise. Tony, he's dead for all I care. Stamper is how I met my current best friend, because that's her ex, and he's a great human, and so is his wife, and I love them both so much. I don't have any more high school drama with Slender Woman between my first post and this one. She found out what happened after her breaking up with me and started talking to me, apologizing for every lie she told about me, came to hit her over the head one by one, making her lose friends, making it difficult to find more. Thank you for reading, listening, or whatever if you want to call it. Thank you. Yeah, you weren't kidding about this being a rough one. I knew this motherfucker was trouble. I just knew this motherfucker was trouble from the moment he just started. Just the way... This goes beyond Beardo, that's for sure. See, that's the thing we sometimes talk about with a lot of these. Beard stuff can be funny, and it can be weird, but sometimes it crosses a fucking line, and they're not acting weird, or just being a, harmless fucking whatever. It's a lot worse than that. So, yeah. Holy fuck, OP. I don't even know what to say, man. That's... Wow. I hope you never have to run into this motherfucker forever, for one. Just like ever. But seriously, what a fucking monster. I don't really want to do the, funny outro in this. I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah, this is fucked. This is really fucked, and I'm so sorry that you went through all that. I had no idea, and if there's anything any of us can do, don't be afraid to reach out. We're all here, Holy fuck, man. So, just be safe out there, okay? I'll see you guys in the next video.